So you want to be an AI engineer? It's one of the hottest career paths on the planet right now. But here's the thing, so many people are getting completely stuck. If you've been grinding away, caught in that endless loop of tutorials and still feel like you're going absolutely nowhere, this is for you. We're going to break down the common mistakes that are wasting your time and, more importantly, how to fix them.
And this quote just hits home, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that frustration. See, the problem isn't your effort, it's your direction. You can pour countless hours into studying, but if you're working on the wrong things, you're just going to keep spinning your wheels. So today, we're going to give you the map to get you pointed in the right direction.
Here's our game plan. First, we'll define what this job actually is today, because it has changed. Then we'll bust some big myths about what you need to learn, and from there, we'll dive into the practical stuff, building a portfolio that stands out and, actually landing the job.
Okay, first things first, we have to get crystal clear on what a modern AI engineer actually does. A ton of the confusion and wasted time starts right here, with people chasing a definition of the job that's, frankly, totally outdated.
Here's the most crucial point to get. A modern AI engineer is not spending their days training massive models from scratch. That's not the job anymore. Instead, they're building really powerful applications on top of these incredible foundation models that already exist. Their world revolves around things like prompt engineering, retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, and fine-tuning these tools to solve very specific problems.
And this slide lays out the shift perfectly. The traditional machine learning engineer, they were all about training models from the ground up. The modern AI engineer, they're more like an architect, building entire systems using these models as a powerful building block. And believe me, that distinction changes absolutely everything about what you need to be learning. Which brings us to our first major mistake, a huge trap that so many people fall into, getting lost in the weeds of theoretical math. So many courses and learning paths tell you to spend months grinding through deep calculus and linear algebra before you even write a single line of application code. That is a trap.
Just look at this table. It breaks it down so clearly. In the What You Need column, you see things like conceptual intuition, knowing how to evaluate a model, understanding key metrics. Now look at what you don't need. Deriving backpropagation by hand, spending months on mathematical proofs. Those are academic exercises, not job skills for this role.
And really, this is the bottom line. You have to think about the opportunity cost. Every single hour you spend doing complex manual math is an hour you could have spent building a real application, the kind of skill that actually gets you hired. Okay, on to mistake number 2. Even when people get that they're supposed to be building with these pre-trained models, they often get tunnel vision. They focus 100% on writing the perfect prompt and looking at the model's output, and they just forget everything else.
But it's so important to see the bigger picture. Think of it like a giant puzzle. Your clever prompt and the model's response, that's just one single piece. A professional engineer has to build the entire system around it to make it work in the real world.
Because a real system has to think about all of this. What happens when 1 million users hit your app at once? That's scalability. Is it secure? How much is this thing going to cost to run? How do you monitor and deploy it reliably? This is the world of LLM ops, or large language model operations. And honestly, answering these system-level questions is what separates a hobbyist from a professional AI engineer.
This leads us right into the third big mistake, building the wrong kinds of projects for your portfolio. Your portfolio is your single best tool to prove what you can do. But most people build projects that basically just tell hiring managers, hey, I can follow a basic tutorial.
Here's how to think about it. A simple ChatGPT wrapper is the new Titanic dataset. It's the first thing everybody does, and it's overdone. A real-world project, on the other hand, solves an actual problem. It shows you've thought about deployment, security, all those system-level things we just talked about. It proves you can actually do the job.
All right, mistake number 4 is a little more subtle, but it causes a ton of burnout. Getting distracted by the endless stream of new tools and frameworks.
And it's completely overwhelming, right? Just when you feel like you finally mastered one tool, 5 new ones pop up that are supposedly better. The secret is that trying to keep up is the mistake itself. You're focusing on the wrong thing.
This quote just nails it. Instead of memorizing the exact API for a tool that's popular today, focus on why it's built that way. Understand the core concept of, say, chaining prompts and tools together. The specific tools are just details. They'll come and go. Your understanding of the underlying principles is what makes you valuable for the long haul.
And now for the final section,
Let's say you've avoided all these pitfalls. You've built a killer portfolio, you're focusing on concepts, but you're still not getting any interviews. What gives?
Well, here's the harsh reality. Even for a junior role, you could be up against 2,000 other applicants. Just clicking apply on a job board is basically like buying a lottery ticket. Your amazing portfolio might never even get seen by a human.
So the solution, and this is probably the highest leverage thing you can possibly do, is networking. I know. That word can feel awkward and intimidating, but making direct human connections is the single best way to get your foot in the door. And networking doesn't have to be scary or weird. It's just a series of simple, consistent actions. Connect with engineers and hiring managers at companies you like. Don't just immediately ask for a job. Engage with their work. Contribute to open source. Share what you're building online. See, most people will just keep clicking apply. Doing this extra work isn't just an advantage, it's how you skip the line entirely.
So there you have it, the roadmap to avoid the biggest time-wasting mistakes out there. The path is really about shifting your entire mindset, from being a passive learner who just follows tutorials to being an active builder who solves real problems and creates entire systems. The only question left is, which one are you going to be?